Hey, what's up creatures? It's Em and welcome. Oh my god. I came in like a wrecking ball. Today I have the most exciting news, and that is I have finally been blessed enough to bring home a puppy of my own. Those of you who've been around for a while or who know me in real life know what this means to me. I have been waiting about 25 years to bring home a puppy of my very own. Dun 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 dun! It's my Kiba. Look at my boy. Look at that handsomeness. Say hi everybody. Hi creatures. This is his very first time in my office today, so he's not entirely sure what is going on. Today's video is sponsored by ZOOPIX. Those of you who've been with me for a while will know that I have partnered with ZOOPIX before. ZOOPIX is an amazing app where you can actually share pictures of your animals in a kind of gallery setting. It's an amazingly positive community of pet parents who are just proud to show off their puppy, kitty, fish, whatever spam you want to show off of your animals. I already have an account for my ferret Niffler, which a lot of you are already following, so thank you so much for that. He is Niffler the Majestic, and of course I've made one for my beautiful Kiba over here because who doesn't love that face? He's like, look at my face, I am so handsome. Not only is ZOOPIX fun and wholesome, but the app also supports adoption and allows rescues to show off their pets which are looking for new homes. ZOOPIX also allows its creative professionals to show off their handmade items for sale in the supermarket. So, if you have an Etsy store with eligible animal or pet products, you can list them. It's really easy to switch between your profiles, so if you have multiple accounts for your pets, you can. Danny!
Yeah.
Danny, you have to see this.
Kiba, what? Oh no, Kiba, what happened? You're so sour.
You're so flower. One of my favorite features about the ZOOPIX app is that if you have rescued an animal, then you get a little icon which shows that you have rescued your pet, and every single weekend you can enter your pet into a pet show. So if you take really great pictures of your pets and you submit them, then you might actually win some prizes which are tangible prizes, such as coupons to spend in real pet stores. ZOOPIX is available in the USA on iOS and Android. You can check my description box for a handy link to help you find the app. If you guys are already on ZOOPIX, as I know a ton of you are, please leave your username in the comment section below if you would like to have more people follow you. Also, speaking of following, if you follow Kiba over here under Kiba the Erasure on ZOOPIX, everyone who follows within the first 24 hours, Kiba will follow back. Isn't that right, Kiba? You'll follow back. So this is Kiba. He is the goodest of good boys. He's also just entering his hyper mode where he normally gets super hyper before he crashes out for like 3 or 4 hours, because even though he is a mega floof, he is still a very young puppy. He is only 9 weeks old at the moment, so he is very, very tired a lot of the time. So a lot of you have been asking me since I brought Kiba home, what are your plans for kind of the first year of his life? What are you gonna feed him? Is he wearing a harness or a collar and leash? Are you gonna vaccinate him? Are you planning to travel with him? Is he gonna have a special job? Well, I'm here to answer all of those questions today, and if you have any questions other than the ones that I'm gonna answer today, write them in the comment section below and I will try and get back to every single one of you. So first of all, I decided to bring home a Eurasia, and of course Eurasias are pretty rare, especially here in the USA, so I had to go on a waiting list. Some breeders' waiting lists are over 2 years. Thankfully I didn't have to wait quite that long. Our breeder always places their puppies in a home at around 8 to 10 weeks, so we decided to get him at 8 weeks. Any younger than 8 weeks and you're often looking at a under-socialized dog, it's important for a puppy to stay with its mother and its litter mates, if it has litter mates, for at least 8 weeks, because they learn social skills in this really critical time between, say, 6 and 12 weeks, which they won't then be able to pick up quite as easily down the line. Some of you have also caught on to the fact that I'm going to be raising Kiba through puppy culture. If you guys don't know what puppy culture is, I will link it down below. It's basically a belief system that you should try and expose your puppy gently to a whole variety of things within a critical time period, usually under 12 weeks. So it's a lot of exposure to lots of different things. So from the second that Kiba was born, he has had his paws, ears, belly, mouth touched. He's also been exposed to a wide variety of people, safely of course, and he's also been around lots of other dogs, so he has been very well socialized. He is not scared of people and he is not scared of dogs at all. The day that I met Kiba was probably the greatest day of my life. I am not joking. We literally put off our wedding so that this year we could focus on Kiba and next year we can have our wedding, and I'm hoping that Kiba will become a part of that as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. And a lot of you have asked me, did you cry when you first met Kiba? No, I didn't. I didn't want him to be unsure about the signals I was giving off. I wanted to be really calm and confident with him. So no, I didn't cry. There was no squealing. There was no like, oh my god, my puppy, I love it so much. It was literally just like, hey puppy, come and sniff me, and then we can play a little bit more. And by the end of the day, he was like asking for belly rubs, which was fantastic. So I'm very happy with my decision not to be like the day that I met him. Hi Kiba. Are you a good boy? Yeah. He's a very good boy. I was a bit annoyed actually because I told Danny that I wanted to be the first one to pet Kiba because he's supposed to be my puppy and I'm the one that wanted a Eurasia, and he was like, I'm not touching your dog. And of course he was the one that first got to touch Kiba and the first to take him for a walk and the first to do a whole bunch of things with him that was supposed to be me, but then Danny was like, leapfrog, I'm gonna get there first. So never mind about that. I am not salty in the slightest. Oh, Danny, are you meeting my dog first? No. Are you? No. That's against the rules. It's supposed to be meeting them first. Me meeting them first. Hi! Hi! You're my puppy. Hi, Keeps. Hi. Next up, I was asked a lot of questions about vaccinations and if I am planning to vaccinate and which vaccinations. So yes, I am a huge advocate for vaccinating your dogs. There are so many diseases out there. Parvo, Bordetella, of course, if they're around other dogs or in a kennel situation. Distemper, which is huge where we are, especially with all the wildlife. We had literally a raccoon with distemper under our porch the week before Kiba arrived home. I was freaking out. So we trapped him and we took him to a wildlife refuge. But hey hoo, that is why I am very into vaccination. I am not going to come down hard on anybody who chooses not to vaccinate. I do believe that it's good to allow a dog to exercise its immune system as well. But for me, where I live, it is not negotiable. My dog will be vaccinated, and yes, he will be having his rabies as soon as he is of age. Right now, he's still too young to have his rabies vaccination, but he has had 2 rounds of parvo, distemper, he's been dewormed, he's had a fecal sample which all came back negative. Basically, he's had all of his puppy boosters apart from rabies, and that's going to come at the 12-week stage. So the greatest challenge that I had, or that I felt that I had since getting Kiba, was trying to decide whether or not to travel with him, because obviously I had to bring him home in the airplane from Nebraska to New Jersey, and that is about a 3.5-hour flight. He was fantastic. I had already sent my carrier over to the breeder a few weeks before, so he practiced going in and out and it smelled like home to him, so he was fantastic with that. However, I did have to take a flight later that week, and I was umming and ahhing as to whether I was going to go to Nebraska, spend 3 days there, and then bring Kiba home and have him for only 2 days before heading over to Texas. Am I going to leave him behind with a trusted friend, with family, or do I take him with me? Well, I decided to take him with me, and some people freaked out over this. They were like, it's too much for a puppy. I beg to differ. We were really calm, really confident with him. We made the decision after spending 5 days with him. We were like, okay, it's about time that we make a decision. Is he going to come to Texas? Is he not? And I decided yes, because it is such a critical time for his development, and I didn't want to leave him out of something that is important to me and is a big part of my life, which is travel. So we decided yes, we'll bring him with us. Oh my god, he is the best traveler ever. You would never know that this puppy has not been doing this for years. And it's almost like, because Danny and I are so calm and confident, he just follows suit with that too. And of course we have to take precautions. So anybody at the airport who was like, oh my god, can I pet your dog? I was like, sorry, no, he's not being fully vaccinated yet, so no. And then when we were in Texas, obviously I had my meet and greet, and I was thinking to myself, my goodness, this puppy is going to be so scared the whole time. First of all, you guys who came to see us were fantastic. Thank you all so much for using the hand sanitizer and for being super understanding when he was away in his carrier. I bought an additional carrier in Texas so I could keep it under the table, and Kiba was such a boss. He was like, all right, well, there's loads of people here, I'm gonna wag my tail, gonna say hi to some people, then I'm gonna put myself away to bed. He is such an unusual puppy in that he is so easy a lot of the time. So even though he is 9 weeks, he's been taught from very young how to go to the bathroom. He's been around around other dogs and basically copied these other dogs. He copied his mother, and since about 7 or 8 weeks he has not needed puppy pads at all. I don't use puppy pads with him, there's no need. He sleeps about 6 hours straight through at night now. The first night was difficult, he whined a lot and I was like, what have I done? But he was scared. You know, all puppies are gonna whine the very first night you bring them home. They're away from their family, it's new people, new smells, and it can be really overwhelming for a puppy. So we are crate training him, which is another question you guys have been asking. I have a crate in the living room for him where he can go for quiet time, and everybody knows, including our kids, because I have 3 bonus kids, step kids, they know that when he's in a crate he is not to be disturbed. It's like a safe place. And then he has a travel crate, which is the impact crate, which I love. It's amazing, and he loves his impact crate too. And then I also have another nighttime crate in the bedroom, which is right by my bed, which is completely covered, and he loves that. As soon as he's in there, no whining, goes straight to sleep. And speaking of sleep and independence, he is super independent as per the breed. So he'll decide when he's had enough of playtime and he'll put himself away in another room to bed. He'll just go straight to his crate, which is unusual to me because I actually used to have a doggy daycare and I specifically used to work with puppies, and I found that puppies did not like to be away from you. They want to be right near you, they want to hear you and smell you and be able to see you. He doesn't care. Like, he loves us so much, he is so bonded to us, but he's very independent as well, and he'll decide to just go and do his own thing, which is fantastic. Like, that suits me fine. And then walking, we have been walking a little bit. Obviously we started out in our yard and I've made sure the yard is as sanitary as possible for him. We've been keeping all wildlife out. I've been monitoring all of my nighttime trail cameras to make sure we don't have any other animals that look a bit suspicious. We had a skunk come through the other night. That's about it recently. It's been really rainy, so everyone's kind of been hunkered down, and that's good because all the rain is washing away, and I think that could be a potential issue for him. Oh yes, and speaking of medication, he has already had neck guards, so he is protected orally, medically, against ticks and fleas. His coat is very, very dense. It's almost like a really thick wall, so any bugs that he has had on him just don't make it that far. They fall off, which is fantastic. I also use puppy wipes on him after every walk, so he is very, very happy when he comes in. He smells like cherries after a walk, which is nice. Speaking of walks, because he's only had 2 of his 3 puppy rounds of vaccinations, I am sticking to right in the middle of our street and doing like a loop so that he doesn't go near anywhere where I typically see dogs going, which is right along the side of the curb where it meets other people's houses and their lawns or their front yards. So he doesn't go there. We stay right in the middle, and he's not allowed to lick anything or stick his nose in anything that looks like it could have been poop at one point or pee, and he's really good. You know, I know that a lot of people say that it's unnecessary to take him out at this age. I really beg to differ. I think it's a critical age to be able to take him out, and because we've been doing this, he is flawless on walks right now. He will go to my heel, he will walk by my side very, very comfortably. He will sit, he'll give me his paw, we'll sometimes just sit in the middle of the road and have cars pass us gently, and this is just to get him used to a lot of different things going on around him as well. Speaking of lots of things going on around him, he was a rock star at Newark Liberty International Airport. Twice this week he's been there, and twice he was just like, this is nothing, I'm super good, I'm super confident.
Hey Liz, so we're at Newark. We had a really late delayed flight. We were an extra like 3 hours delayed. And Kiba was a rock star. He held his potty the whole time, and look at this. This is like, you know, mayhem out here. And he's being a good boy. The best.
Which is fantastic because that leads me along to his job. He, I am hoping, is going to have an important job. I would like him to be a service dog, but I'm not going to be relying on that. What I would actually really love of him is to be an ESA. So his breed is not typically what I would say is good for a service animal. A service animal is a highly trained, highly skilled animal which performs a duty such as medical alert. However, I don't think that he would be suitable for that. I don't necessarily need him to be a service dog for myself. There is someone within my family who I think he'd be a good service dog for, but that is not my information to share. For me personally, I've been writing in my book as to why I would like him to be an ESA for me. For myself. There are a lot of things that I have kept to myself and a lot of things that I've been working on for myself, which I'll be opening up about that. I'm sorry, I'm getting nervous about it just talking about it because it's something I have not spoken to anyone about, even like my family or anything. So there's that, and I would like him to be an ESA. So I need him to get used to having good manners on the leash, being around people, traveling, and being at my side and honestly, he's been fantastic with that. Puppy classes. He is going to be enrolled in puppy classes very soon, and hopefully getting him super well socialized with other puppies as well, because if there is one aspect that he's missing out on right now, it's not being around other puppies because he's not fully vaccinated. But as soon as he is, he will be going into puppy classes. Okay, so diet. A lot of you have been asking me what I'm planning to feed Kiba. Now, initially I was thinking about doing home prepared, home cooked meals, but then I did a little bit more research, and actually what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the raw food option. So I'm going to be exploring raw food with him. My boy has already been experimenting with some raw food, and he already enjoys it above the kibble that he has already been raised on. Right now, for his kibble, what he is on, which I'm going to be removing him from, is open farm freeze-dried raw, which is fantastic. And then I'm also giving him a little bit of what he had at the breeders, which is Taste of the Wild. So he also gets Taste of the Wild as well. But I'm going to be moving him away from those kibbles and hopefully completely onto raw, which would be a fantastic switch for him. Obviously, if it does not agree with him, then I will not force that on him, but that's where we're going to be going from the beginning, is introducing a little bit of raw, hopefully from about mid next week. So I'll let you know how that goes. So Kiba is already quite a hefty puppy. As you can see, he is a very chonk puppy. He's not fat in the slightest. He is just a lot of poofy fur, and I love that poofy fur of his. It's like wool almost at this stage. Right now Kiba weighs about 15 pounds, but when he's fully grown he should be about 57 pounds, and lots of fur. Some of you have been asking about his rough kind of routine that he has right now, and the answer is yes, he does have a rough routine. The rough routine is that he will get up at about 7:30 or 8 every single day. He normally will whine from his crate when it's time to go, and it's not like a needy whine. Puppy parents out there, you'll know that there's like different whines, different sounds that they make. You know, there's attention seeking whining, scared whining, or uncertainty whining, and then there's like the I have to go pee whine. And his I have to go pee whine is normally first thing when he wakes up. So he'll normally he'll like sit and like cock his head and like give me the whine, and I'll let him out and he'll go and pee and poop and do his business. Then he'll come back in and we'll have like, you know, 15 minutes of crazy play, and then after that it's like time to just settle down for a little while, and he will then be given breakfast. The breed is prone to bloat, which is a horrible twisting of the stomach, so I'm always careful that I only feed him after we've had like physical exertion, which works for me too, because I actually prefer to eat my breakfast after like our playtime or our walk, so that really works really well. Then he'll actually settle down to sleep again, because he is a puppy and puppies sleep a lot, and he'll be in like a semi-asleep, semi-awake state for about 2 hours, where he just watches the world go by and wants to be a part of whatever it is that's happening in the house. So if I'm in the kitchen, he'll come and like sleep by my feet in the kitchen, or if I'm editing, then he'll be like under my desk while I edit. But most of the time when he wants to sleep, he'll either go to the bedroom where it's really quiet, dark and cool, or he'll go into the ferret room and sleep on the floor in the ferret room, because it's really cool and really aerated in there. So it's nice for him. Obviously he's prone to being hot a lot of the time with that double coat. And then in the afternoon we go for a walk around the block before a little bit more rough play, and then in the evening, last thing before bed, I'll take him for another walk around the block and a little bit of like, you know, quiet touching, like feeling his paws, his ears, playing with his teeth. And this is about the time that I get him used to lots of different sensations of being touched, things that groomers are going to do to him at some point, which is all good. You know, I want to make sure he's not got any real sensitivity to his teeth being touched or standing still, so sometimes I'll put him on my grooming table at home and just sit him there and positively reinforce him, telling him he's a good boy, he's doing a great job, and touching him, then yes, good boy, click a treat, and then, you know, putting my fingers inside his ears, like sort of mimicking his ears being cleaned, and then it's again, click a good boy, well done. And then I keep it really brief and leave it on a positive and put him back down, then he goes to sleep, and that's him done for the night. So that's a really nice little routine that we've got going on at the moment, and he seems to be thriving on that. He is teething. He has started teething since we've had him, so now he's chewing everything, and of course you can't really like tell them, no, you can't chew me. Obviously if he bites down too hard on me, then I will yelp. I'll do like an and then I was just gonna see, yeah, he was wondering what that was. Sorry sweetheart, you can go back to sleep. He was just like, what? So if he bites me too hard, then I'll yelp and he'll like let go. That's his my way of communicating with him, letting him know you bit me too hard. And that's what puppies in the litter will do if they bite each other too hard. But if he bites me too hard, I never smack or overly scold him. I'll say like no and take my hand away, make everything really boring, and instead I'll move him onto a toy. So if he starts biting me and I have a toy to hand, I won't even correct him, I'll just like put the toy there and redirect him. But if he comes up to me and he's trying to nip me as a way of initiating play, take it away, no, and completely neutral, don't look at him, no like eye contact, no touching, and then I'll ensure he goes and does something else that's a bit more productive for him. So he knows what he is and isn't supposed to do, but he does, as any like little adolescent puppy will do, he will test. So he does test every now and then, but apart from that, he is very easy. To try and help with separation anxiety, which is a big fear of mine, I don't want to nurture separation anxiety in him, I try and encourage a little bit of distance. So this pen has been fantastic. So I have two of these pens. This one is the silver one by Clearly Loved Pets, which you've seen in some of my other videos. Then I have another pen which is in the new limited edition gunmetal grey color, which is amazing. So thank you very much to Clearly Loved Pets for sending that over to me for Kiba. That one has been decked out really, really extra. It's a very extra pen, and it looks really great. I love it, and Kiba loves it too. And I put him in the pen, and he knows when he's in the pen it's quiet time, and he has a couple of toys in there that he can quietly play with, but I never have like rough and tumbles with him inside the pen. The pen is a relaxation area, which as you can see works fantastically for him. So in this room, obviously he's already relaxing, and in the other one he'll also relax in as well, which is lovely. I love that he feels so secure in these pens. And when I leave the house for about 5-10 minutes just to exercise that distance, I hear maybe like a couple of uncertainty whines, then he just goes to sleep. And then I make sure that when I come back in, I don't go straight to him, I go and do something else. And then when he's sitting nicely and showing me that he's ready to interact and isn't being too needy, then I'll go down there, open up, and it's like, yes, good boy, so good. So hopefully that will continue along the way. And we can leave him for about an hour or so far. We haven't pushed it any more than that, and he's always great. So I'm hoping that he doesn't develop any separation anxiety. So thank you, Kiba. Thank you everybody for watching me. Oh, what a good boy. You're such a good puppy. You're a good boy. No, thank you for the kisses. Mwah. Look at you, you're like an adorable squishy bear. He is gonna be big. If you guys have any kind of comments that you want to leave, or any additional tips for me to implement with Kiba, or any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment box below. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I will see you in another video soon. Bye!